Dear 2020, where do I start? You've been quite something. You've been a lot. I know what you're thinking. There you go, he's coming for me. Now calm down. I've been patient with you, so let me proceed in order. I greeted you with open arms, wearing a fierce New Year's Eve outfit. I was so ready to embrace you. This was going to be the year. I was sure about it. I mean, look at the costume. What better way to enter the new decade? I wanted and I needed you to be a year of change, a transformational whirlwind. Little did I know, or perhaps did I? I can't explain it 2020, but I had known in my heart for quite some time that something big was just about to come. I had felt it for a while, and without fear or apprehension, I was quietly waiting for it. But dear 2020, you surprised me, you surprised us all. On New Year's Eve, I had all the best intentions and all the right resolutions, but when midnight struck in that busy, noisy, messy club, I immediately knew that I was out of place. My first decision of 2020 was to leave that party soon after midnight, because I felt like a fish out of water, overwhelmed and underwhelmed at the same time. I wanted to isolate and feel safe in my happy place, at home with Alan. Little did I know I would have missed a dance floor for the rest of the year. Being surrounded by strangers in a public space, follow the rhythm, smell the sweat, be blinded by the lights, and just feel the presence of other humans right next to me, while dancing, sweating, and even when leaving the club. Dear 2020, you came in waves, and I followed you around in your crescendo of disruption and distraction. You were first in South Korea with me, when the world was still ignorant, unaware, and definitely unprepared. When you hit Italy, my home and family, and the world was just still watching. Then you finally made yourself known to the rest of them, and that's when they really started to take you seriously. Or did they? Dear 2020, you very quickly destroyed all my fragile certainties, my full-time job, my immigration status, and my ephemeral sense of control. You punched me in the face repeatedly and inexplicably. You disoriented me from the start, and I didn't know how to react. In little over a few months, you made me question everything: my career, my future in this country, my stability, and most importantly, my mental health. But then, still unsatisfied with it, you decided to hit home right in my heart, and you got mom sick. 2020, I won't forget you making me get up so that I could go cry in the kitchen in the middle of the night. You made me feel small, you made me feel far, and most importantly, you made me feel impotent, totally powerless and out of control. I resisted you, 2020. I resented you. I would not let my guard down. I would not accept defeat, and I didn't want to lower my defenses. I wanted to still be controlling, 2020. What do you mean I can't travel? What do you mean I can't leave the house and meet up with friends? I want to eat out. I want a haircut. I want out of here. I want to be on a plane. I want to be home. I want my mom to get better. I want to see her. No, 2020, I'm stronger than you. I'm a survivor. I'm an achiever. I'm a dreamer. You can't stop me now. I'm in the middle of my marathon, and I've been running it for years in order to get here. And I'm not even here yet. Let me continue to run, 2020. You can't stop me now. But you did stop me, 2020. Or did you? Dear 2020, you started off upsetting and harsh. Then you became funny and a bit ridiculous. You showed us all the colors of humankind and a little of its craziness. 2020, you've been the year of long queues at the supermarket, of toilet paper and flour shortages, of cereal baking and obsessive cooking, sourdough bread anyone? Of funny TikTok trends and Instagram stories, of absolutely crazy hairstyles. I mean, seriously, this is how you make me look, 2020. Of endlessly awkward Zoom happy hours with family and friends, of singing from the balconies, of not wearing pants, just pajamas, of home offices and new desks and new chairs and the total destruction of work and life balance, of socially distant picnics and circles in the grass, of the resurgence of QR codes. Who would have thought? Of Netflix and HBO binge watching, of Tiger King and other trash TV like Love is Blind or Selling Sunset. Obsessed. Then you got a bit better, 2020, and gave us a breather. But then you got worse again. You unveiled all the ugliness in the world: social inequality, misinformation, vicious elections, extremism, anti-scientific trends, hatred and division, selfish individualism. You showed us how deeply troubled we are. You showed us the wound we keep enlarging instead of healing. You showed us the dark vortex we're falling into with no hope for return. That was scary shit. But then you showed us hope in humanity again. Hope in science. Hope in equality. You showed us that just because we're used to doing things a certain way, that doesn't mean there's no room to change and improve. You showed us that we can work and learn and organize remotely, that we can still fight for a better and more equitable society, that a job is just a job and doesn't define who we are, and that thousands of things are more important: family, close friends, health. That new balances and new ways of doing things are possible. You taught us to challenge the status quo, to do things differently, to reinvent ourselves, to question everything we thought we knew, to reevaluate everything in our lives: who we love, what we truly care about, what's the real essence of life. But above all, you taught us to be more patient, more resilient, more in tune with ourselves and our fellow humans. I hated you, 2020. You made me lose material things I thought were important. You challenged me constantly. You tamed me and made me feel trapped, isolated, small, far, and powerless. You stripped away basic certainties, my false securities, and especially my sense of control. You constrained me with braces and bands in my mouth and prevented me from properly smiling. You made me more guarded, more skeptical, more cynical. You gave me a lot of new gray hair, and you made me drink and eat more. You gave me extra weight and messed up with my self-esteem, my confidence, and my mental health, 2020. You stole hundreds of hours of sleep from my nights. It made me anxious, made me fragile, made me overthink everything. You made me not recognize myself, made me question my worth, and I hated you for all this. But the truth is, 2020, for as much as I love to hate you, I actually really don't. Quite the opposite. I think I'm immensely grateful to you. You've been disrupted, yes, but you've also been truly transformational, and in the midst of it all, gifted me with some unforgettable and life-transforming moments of reflection, achievements, and experiences. Of all the years, you, 2020, realized my American dream and made me feel permanent for the first time in my life. You made me feel like I belong and I'm accepted, and that I can finally build a home and plan for the future. You taught me that a job doesn't define who I am and what I'm worth, and that I have way too much to offer to settle for something that's not up to my potential. You spare my mom and my other loved ones and allow me to build a new hierarchy of values. You got me closer to my good friends and showed me that distance is only a temporary condition. You still allow me to travel, and I did it responsibly, to Italy, South Korea, Turkey, and Mexico, and have some incredible experiences along the way. You reminded me of how lucky I am and privileged that I need to share more of my fortune and give back more to others. You also reminded me of how much I'm proud of being Italian, a nation who truly came together and accepted sacrifice for the greater good, and how much I love and miss Italy every single day. You may have kept me away from the dance floor, but gosh, you made me dance in the living room and in the sea. You made me feel alive and in need of connections, of reinvention, and of new challenges. You showed this exhausted butterfly that it's okay to be a caterpillar again for a while, that it's okay to take time for self-healing, for self-love, and for personal growth. That sometimes, in order to start over and rebuild yourself, you need to be broken first. To give up control and accept to let the flow transport you, to go with the current and trust the process. That it's okay to not have answers or solutions. You just need to remain open to the possibilities. 2020, you got me back to my creativity and my self-expression. I got back to Marco in a box, and my channel name could have not been more accurate than that in describing how you made me feel in 2020. In a freaking box. Some of you stuck with me in this process, and I'm immensely grateful for your loyalty, for your patience with my inconsistent upload schedule, and for all of your heartfelt messages. Generally, everyone says the internet is a place full of hatred, and yet here in my little online community, I always felt understood and loved. That means the world to me, and I'm so thankful for your support. Thank you. In 2020, I also received a silver play button for reaching 100,000 subscribers, which is a massive milestone in the life of a YouTuber. Alan and I finally received our US green cards. I got a new job, Alan got a new job, my mom got better and fully recovered. We got to spend an entire month back in Italy, and we hit 3 years since our wedding. And yet, I don't feel we truly got a chance to celebrate any of these milestones, because everything and everyone was telling us how much 2020 sucked. Instead, I wanted to take a minute now to acknowledge 2020, everything that you meant to me, to us. Starting with this YouTube silver play button. Can you believe it sat on my desk for all these months and I never found the right time to open it, look at it and celebrate? I want to do it with you now, so here it is. It is still completely wrapped. Here it is. Whoa, okay. Congratulations. It's a letter signed by Susan. And here it is. It is my silver play button. Thank you. It is only thanks to you that I can stand here proud of what I've done, and I definitely want to do more of it. More to deserve your loyalty and support. I'm incredibly grateful 2020 for the music, for the soundtracks you gifted us with during this tough year, for the powerful ballads, for the Arabic music, the Eurovision, the K-pop, the Italian R&B, the Israeli electronic. I'll forever hold Chromatica by Lady Gaga in my heart as the most defining and comforting music album of 2020. Above all, I'll forever cherish all the extra incredible quality time I got to spend with my favorite person in the world, Alan, for all the extra love, for all the extra strength that this year gave us. I could never have made it without him, and his boundless understanding, love, complicity, support, cooking skills, sense of humor, love, dance routines, appreciation, irony and self-deprecation, martinis and ragu making, love, goofiness and candor, vulnerability, love, strength. Oh, and did I mention love? 2020, you accomplished the impossible. You made us more in love than we've ever been. More in tune, more in sync, more on the same page than ever. So thank you. And you gave us home improvements, decors and plans. You finally made our house a home. So no 2020, I don't hate you. Actually quite the opposite, I grew fond of you. And I'm immensely grateful for all the lessons, the eye-opening moments, the dance moves, the instinctive reactions. You showed and reminded me who I really am, and that there's no more time left to be anybody else than my true self. That this caterpillar is meant to be a butterfly again and again and again, and there's no virus could ever stop that. 2020 challenged all of us in ways we couldn't think possible, but it didn't change or question our nature. It only reminded us that if you are a butterfly and are meant to fly, you just need to find the courage to spread your wings again, no matter what the rest of the world is saying. When you feel ready, just fly. And if you're not ready, that's okay too. It is okay to wait. It is okay to heal. Thank you 2020. You'll forever be remembered as the most challenging yet defining year. And I couldn't be more grateful for that. Thank you.